All right, Coach, looking back at this past week, y'all split play, but a much-needed UTPB win at home. Seems like y'all were just firing on all cylinders. Just talk about this past week's performance and the difference you saw in the two games.
Yeah, UTPB is always a tough place to play, and we knew that going into it. I do, and the coach had mentioned that they had shot like they had never shot before, and they may not do that again. So I was hoping that they would cool off before they came to our place on Saturday, and then we ended up having our best shooting day at our place. And so it was kind of a quick turnaround. I do think it's super special and good that our seniors had the day that they had with their last home game, and especially MJ. Little MJ had four. We talk about charges all the time, and she just gritted her teeth and stepped in there, and she was brave and took a lot of charges and had a lot of big defensive plays on the defensive end. And so I was super proud of her. And then just the rest of our seniors, I could go on and on about each one of them. There's too many it would take me forever, but I feel blessed to be their coach, and the way that we ended that was just super special, and I'm proud of them.
That kind of led me into my next question. You got to honor them for senior day. Just kind of talk about what those four bring to the program as leaders and athletes.
Yeah, there's some things that you can't coach. I feel like they have characteristics that are definitely unique, and whether they want it or not, people follow them, and it's because they work so hard. The team knows that they're leaders because at the end of the day, when we need a big play, it's going to fall on those guys' shoulders, and they're not scared to take that challenge, and that's what we're going to have this weekend. I think they're fired up, which is fun. I mean, that's super fun to coach, and I hope that it ends on a good note for those seniors, just because they deserve it. They work extremely hard, and other than that, they make the players around them better, and that's what we're going to miss.
And then my last question, taking on UTPB a third time, y'all have the upper hand coming off that win and such a hot shooting game. How does this team really use and hold on to Saturday's performance, and what are you wanting to see this week in practice?
Yeah, I think we need to remember what worked. We did make some changes from Thursday, and I felt like they executed it well. Our shooting percentage was up, but it was because we were taking higher percentage shots. I feel like we were getting the ball inside, and then we were kicking it back out. That has been proven to be higher percentage shots. And so just moving the ball like we did, I do feel like we've got to be creative in ways to get the ball inside, just in case our shots aren't going in. This is one thing that we can't do against UTPB, is getting a three-point shootout with them, because they are hot shooters. So we've got to guard the three, and we can't fall in love with it on our end. We've got to make sure that we beat them with the points in the paint. I hope to the good Lord our shots are going in like they did the last time, but we've got to have some kind of plan just in case they aren't. So, and then rebounding. Rebounding is one thing we can control, so that's what we're going to be focused on. If it takes us 5 times to put the ball in the hole, then it takes us 5 times, but at least it went in. As long as we rebound, right?
Right.
I mean, it is what it is. That's how it goes.
Just talk about the turnaround one more time. You could say what you want that UTPB just shot lights out on Wednesday, because that was, I think that was a shocker for everyone, final scoreline. But to see what this team has gone through this season, when you were talking about motivation, you were talking about working hard, because they always put in the hard work, but you talked about how you wanted to see them want to be there,
Right, yeah.
And after a loss like that, just turning around and having one of y'all's best performances on the entire season, what does that mean to you as a coach?
I think, Thursday night was somewhat of a wake-up call. I do think some of our seniors after that game said, that's not okay. We can't get beat like that, and we can't have that many defensive missed assignments, which we did. If you watch the film, we weren't executing on the defensive end. A lot of motivation going into the next game was, you're playing for those seniors. This is their last game on this home floor, and you need to give everything you can, because they deserve this win, and they deserve for us to play well. I do think that that's their motivation going into these last games as well, is now we're one and done. If we lose, we're done. And so That's what they are talking a lot about. I can hear them in the locker room is we've got to put multiple possessions together in a row. Consistency. They know. So I think the big story that we take away from this past weekend is you can lose to the worst and you can beat the best. And we've said that to them all year. They've just got to find what's going to motivate them in order to get them over that hump. Right now it's putting 2 games together in a row. And so that's something that we've got to look into this next game. One thing that is a little bit different is we have reset their brains in a way where, we're saying it's a new season, right? So I am a little hesitant to tell them, okay, let's forget those games that weren't so great, that we weren't here, that we weren't. But at the same time, you want to learn from them. Those hurt, and I want them to hurt them because not showing up is not okay. And so I want them to remember those things. I want them to learn from the bad and run with the good. And that's something that we're going to be doing in film this week is we're going to look at that last game and we're going to look at the game before. And they're going to know what doesn't work and what does work. And that's what's going to be our game plan going into the next one. And I do think it's things that we can control, which is a good thing. So.
Last year when y'all went into the LSC tournament, it seemed like y'all had a really good fan following. San Angelo just really showed out, Angelo State. Kind of looking at this year, what would that do for y'all? Being able to have that backing down in Frisco, having that home court essentially right there in Frisco.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that because I've been meaning to say this. The fan support means the world to not only me, but to this whole team. Those girls, I think I've told you this before, but they come in during their warm-ups and they're talking about how many people are in the stands. The environment is so much better when it's packed, and I do believe that we pull in some of the best crowds. When you go to other places, they don't have as many fans as we do, and so I'm super thankful for that. And if we can have a huge following to Frisco, I know the men would appreciate that. And not every team gets to have both men and women at this tournament, but Angelo State gets to do that, and so we enjoy that because we like to watch the guys' team and root for them and vice versa. And just to have that many extra people there gives us an automatic advantage. It really does, and it means a lot to us.
Thank you, Coach.